everybody, Southside Railfan here, and welcome to another YouTube video. Today, we are talking on episode 3 of Railfan Explained series of layover yards. All photos are mine. They've been taken with permission through railroad officials by train crew, yard masters, train masters, etc. It's the official railroad employee that's going to be permission, so you may see photos in the gauge of right away in the yard, or in places where I shouldn't be. For the normal person, I have permission. Even station masters, I've had permission through a station master employee or railroad employee type ordeal. I've had permission. All my photos have been legal, not illegally, legally taken. I've had them with permission. Also, I apologize about the quality of the video. If it's a little bit blurry, my recording app is messed up, and the cursor in this video you may see fly around here. This is to help point out some key points in this video. This is not a normal style video. This is talking about hot starts, which I'll get into, and what a layover yard is. So without further ado, let's dive right into this. So this is Hyannis Yard, Hyannis, Massachusetts. Also on the bottom right and right side, you'll see the notes of what year. This is probably the only year I remember taking these photos. So that's probably the only year you'll see within 2019. But anyway, so the left side photo is what a hot start is. In this spec, there's different types of hot starts. They'll come in all forms, different shapes and sizes, just like a diesel electric locomotive. In this case, that is the track number 6 hot start. This is the Cape Flyer right here. This is the Cape Cod Central train. This is Mass Coastal Cape Cod Central. This is us, the Cape Flyer. Over here is the Spurs. I believe that is track, I think it's 12 and 14 they jumped right over. I think they skip 8 and 10. I believe. Don't hold me to that knowledge. I'm a little rusty on that part. But a layover yard is, as in a quote over quote general definition, a designated yard to hold, we'll say, passenger equipment. In this case, for understanding, it's probably an actual official terminology. We're just doing it for the case of this video. So this one is a specialty type though, due to its circumstances. We could, if we're talking in the Cape Flyer specs, as people know or may not know, it's a seasonal train operated by the commuter rail. So this is more of a holding yard for us because we're not using that hot start, quote over quote. So it's more of a holding yard. You could count as a layover. For Cape Cod Central, it is a layover because last I was aware, they did use for their FL9s or the dinner train, scenic train consist on that track, which is track 6. And also to clarify what a hot start is emissions regulated by the FRA and environmental and all that, the whole 9 shabam. So instead of having the diesel engine run to provide power to the train with the head-end power, they shut down the HEP, they shut down the prime mover, and they plug in the consist. I don't know the voltage or anything. Don't ask me how that speculation works. It's just for the emissions part. Also, if you don't know what HEP is, check out episode 2 where I go over the HEP. So this is the only unique yard about this. It's kind of hard to explain this in some circumstance, but that's kind of like a warm-up yard. There's also other yards in the facility on the MBTA system, like Needham Yard, Franklin. Stoughton is not a layover for anybody who thinks Stoughton Yard, because of the train that pulls down from the station. That is a runaround. That is not a layover, for a disclaimer. There's no trains that lay over there. There's no nothing. It's just a runaround. So don't put the layover terminology for Stoughton. It's not a runaround, to clarify. This is Reedville Yard. This is probably one of the biggest layovers on the MBTA for the South Side District. In front of us, I believe, I remember correctly, is track 5, that big photo. That little photo is the maintenance tracks 1 and 2, I believe. I think the numbers are qualified as. I had that. The reason why I had that photo is because of the flanger, and that was the only side of tracks I had. Up above the Fairmount line in that little photo. But again, in this case, here's a hot start here. I believe this is a hot start, but I know this is definitely a hot start. During the winter, layover yards will keep their engines running because it's harder to start up an engine cold and get the head and power started because of heat, temperature-wise. So I believe, not this past winter, last winter, which was, I believe, 2022, 2023, we had a morning when it was -10 degrees. Now, try starting a diesel engine up with that to try to get a head and power started. You can't. Or if you do, it's very, very hard. So, but this is a major layover because all these trains come into here, they tie down, which is when you park the train, and some these may not go out for a few days. They might jump around, rotate the consist. South Station's not a layover. That's a holding area because you don't leave trains in the station. The only time they do that is Amtrak at 1 in the morning for the 4 in the morning trains to depart. But again, that's not a layover. A layover is a designated yard. So Reedville, Middleborough layover, Kingston layover, or Kingston facility may hear, or facilities may call it out as. Needham, which is no, as of right now, I do not believe it's used. Franklin is used. Worcester, Pawtucket layover, which is the Providence Northeast Corridor layover. I know I'm probably missing one. I apologize. Oh, Greenbush. Foxborough does not have a layover, and oh my gosh, I apologize. My brain is blanking this evening, or for time of the recording, which for me is in the evening at 11:37 p.m. But again, in this case, this is a designated layover. If you say Worcester CSX yard, that's, yeah, it could be deemed a layover for them, but it's really not a layover. They just have like a power pool track, which is like, say, track 1 and 2. Oh, that's all power pool. So now we travel to Connecticut, which is New Haven Station. I have 2 photos. This is the one right by the station. I don't know what, to me this would be a layover yard, but this could be a power pool yard. I'm not fully aware of what this mini yard stands as, because to me it's kind of like a power pool yard and a layover type ordeal. But they'll come in different shapes and quantities. You can have a layover that's a one like Needham, which is 2 tracks, and they stack the trains on top of each other. So one track has 2 hot starts, so 2 sets, or 2 train sets, and the other one's just 1. As in, say, BET, you can have 30 tracks if that's what BET has, and all those could be layovers because the mechanical building would have a shutdown and a plug-in and all that. This is the last photo I have, and this is definitely a layover yard. I had a hard time getting a good photo of this when I did it, because you can see the fence in point blank range. I just tried to get my camera over the fence, but this is a layover yard right here. This is New Haven layover. I know that for a fact. Don't mind the New Haven station. That was a little typo I had, but it's right. The station is literally right on the other side. But again, layovers is a designated yard that is deemed for train equipment to sit in, to tie down, to say protect. Like for example, again, Middleborough, there's 6 tracks. Track number 6, I believe, is outbound to Mass Coastal for interchange. Track 5 is an inbound from Mass Coastal for MBTA Keolis. And CSX, you just pick wherever of those 2 they want. Tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4 are our layover tracks, so they'll have a commuter rail set in each one. On weekends, they'll have a thing called a protect set. So in each yard, on most systems, on our commuter rail lines, there'll be a piece of paper written in the office say, this is the first train out, this equipment, tracks 2, 3, and 4, track 1's our protect set for the day. Or vice versa, wherever yard may be, of whoever the yard master, mechanical, electric is. Mechanical and electrical teams are. They will decide, or however they do it. Again, I don't know how they decide. BET, they might have a different system. Every railroad's different. But layover, again, is where you can plug in the equipment, let it reset. Another place I'm trying to think of an example for a freight service, like an engine house track, you can kind of call it a layover home base. It's a designated place, but it's a fine line. Layover is harder to describe. I'm trying to describe it best as I can. So I may redo this video later down the road. It'll be probably like another episode later down the road. I'll redo this with better detail. But as of right now, it's probably the best definition I had. Layover is when it's a designated passenger yard and not something where a train's going to sit for 40-45 minutes before it goes back out again. That's not a layover. I can call that a holding yard or a runaround like in Stoughton at the end. they'll take the train and put it towards the end of the line more, where some videos you'll see the train start coming back. That's a runaround in stone. It's a holding place because you don't want to keep the crossing down on the island circuit, which I'll go over that, how crossings work type of deal, which there's plenty of the videos that are probably better than mine that I'll do, but I will go over it in certain cases for us. But again, I apologize if this video is confusing. Please leave a comment so I can try to redo this better. I may have an interview with somebody that can kind of help me out with this. So, again, I apologize for the confusion and delay on these videos. Again, it's also been really busy for me lately, so for me to take time out of this, it's been a while. So, without further ado, I hope this helped you understand what a layover yard is, or at least understand how to identify a layover yard. Again, I'll probably redo this video at some point later down the road. It'll be a re-upload type ordeal. And, yep. Southside signing out, and I hope you guys have a nice night, or day, or whenever you're watching this.